Now, chat, let's get into the other next reaction. Yes. Principal goes viral on internet for the wrong reason. Oh, he just posted that today. You know, Blunt, I fuck with you, but I'm not going back to back. I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with you. I am not going back to back, though. I need to watch something a little bit different. Just a little bit different. I want something a little bit more trendy. Let's see what he just told me to fly into 5M, but I'm really not trying to fly in though. That nigga's playing 2K. He ended? Oh, that nigga ended stream. No, that's terrible. That's terrible. Choose a nigga better. My fault. I need to stop. I'm being annoying. I'm being annoying. Banksy tried to warn you. See, like, Patrick C would love to watch this video, but 33 minutes is day. Like I watched the Moon video the other day on stream. That shit was like 27 minutes on Shia LaBeouf. That shit was too long, bro. Damn, wait, he's live? What is he doing live?
I don't know. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Of course he's ending now. As soon as I pull up. What the fuck? So he really don't show his face. That's crazy. He had like 200 niggas in the spot.
And then on top of that, Find My Grave for her. Like even with Gen Z, it's people that's Gen Z that's 26 right
that's
now.
Fire.
And
that's fire. I watched, I seen Trap University. This dude was literally at like 2,000 subs, bro. He's been just grinding. Now he's at like over 200K, bro. Spot him got him smashed in prison by Bloods over snitching. Oh well. Adam Silver big plan is about to backfire. You got me, AM Hoops. You got me. I'm like 99.9% sure this is about to be about expansion. If I'm keeping it a $150, I do not think the NBA should expand. It would be cool to have 32 teams, but like I already believe, in my personal opinion, I already feel like I don't want to say it's like oversaturated because it's weird, right? The NBA has a lot of talent, but there isn't a lot of stars. And I feel like it feels that way because there's not a lot of American stars, right? Best person in the NBA, Greek Freak. Jokic is what? Serbia. Lucas from Slovenia. Like that's already like the top 3 right there, probably. Like the best American player, I would have said Tatum, but he's coming off the Achilles. You got Curry, Braun, but like those two players right there, Curry and Braun, those are already post prime. They're the most famous, but like they're not in their peak of their career. So it's like with minimal star power, I think it's hard to sell tickets, gang. I think it's hard to sell tickets or to sell out the extra 2 teams. Like think about all the teams that are bottoming out this year already alone, just for these top picks for AJ, Peterson, and Booz. You know what I mean? So I say hold off. Keep it 30 for a couple more years. Then maybe in like 3-4 years you go 32 because there might be more star power. Some of these young guys that are in like their first, second, third year, they might push into stardom like a what's that young bull on the Jazz, Keontae George. If Keontae George wasn't killing this year, they would not have went out and got what's his name, motherfucking Jaren Jackson and all these pieces. You know what I mean? So that's my personal opinion, though.
The NBA will expand very soon, but it could be making a gigantic mistake. Something that could hurt the NBA more than they ever expect. So ratings have been on a steady decline since about 2016, and it's not for a lack of talent. Like, the NBA could add 2 more teams of players, still kick butt. Like, the worst West team, Sacramento Kings, has 4 ex-All-Stars. Domantas Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Russell Westbrook. Talented youth, Keegan Murray, Keon Ellis before the trade. They're in last place, so talent is not the issue. The problem in adding 2 new teams is tanking. Losing on purpose has killed the regular season so bad, they had to start an in-season tournament to try to save it.
And guess what? That in-season tournament did bumyat! It did nothing. It still tank all the time.
No,
by the way,
NBA adds Vegas
all the
Seattle,
time.
They immediately start trying to lose games day 1. How embarrassing would that be for the league?
For a new team.
So the #1 job for Adam Silver before expansion is to fix tanking. Now expansion is right around the corner. Tip off October 2028. But the good news, Silver knows all this. Shams reports multiple rule changes the commissioner is considering soon as next season to fix tanking. But unfortunately,
okay, I gotta read this. Hold on. They said first round picks can be protect top 4 or top 14. What's good, Cliff? How we doing? We watching a video about the NBA right now. They said lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or later. That's so weird. Oh, actually, that'd be pretty cool. Lottery odds freeze at the deadline. So if at the deadline, whatever you are is what you are. So there's no point in losing games later on in the year. I guess that makes sense. No longer allowing a team to pick up a 4th consecutive year or after consecutive 3 bottom. Okay. So you can't be last. So if you finish bottom of the league 4 years in a row, like you don't get the lottery pick. Okay. Teams can't pick top 4 after making a conference finals. That's fucking stupid. Lottery odds allocated based off 2-year records. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams. Flatten all odds for lottery. Holy, nah, that's crazy.
A huge problem
that's
with all
crazy.
these little rules. People don't mention this, but Adam Silver already tried to fix tanking and only made it worse. Yeah, Commish was hoping we'd all forget about this. So the NBA has had 8 different tweaks to lottery odds. And throughout the years, these are the odds that the worst team landed number 1, okay? The best year to have the absolute worst record was 1998 at a near 36% chance at number 1.
That's
but
fucking
outside
crazy.
of a random 1 year in 1990, there's never been a worst time to be dead last than right now. And logically, you would think, yeah, good idea. Teams now don't want to tank because it doesn't pay as much to be really bad. Well, that's exactly what Adam Silver thought, but Mr. Brainiac didn't think hard enough. Because in actual practice, it's created more tanking. Why? Because now middle teams are incentivized to tank 10 times more. For example, middle teams used to say, well, we can't catch the Pacers for worst record, might as well not even try. But now, they're like, oh, but we can't go from 10th worst to 5th worst. That's doable. And
what was the Mavericks record last year? Because I swear they was about to be in the play-in, and then niggas all of a sudden got the first pick and picked up Coop.
10th to 5th goes from
what?
being a 3% chance
possible?
at number 1 to a 10.5% chance. That's almost like being number 1. So you don't even have to be that bad to get good odds now. Let's tank. And the really bad teams are like, well, we don't actually even have to be the worst. We just have to be in the bottom 3. So now everybody, from the bad to the middle teams, are even more incentivized to tank.
Do they not consult like within like other general managers and owners before making decisions like this? Because like this is a pretty bad fuck up by Silver. I'm not gonna lie. Probably the worst mistake he's made since becoming commissioner. If we're keeping it a buck.
Silver thought he was fixing the problem, but he was actually making it worse. And he might now do that again with these new rules. But, oh my god, comes of players.
Fuck.
But the game is it's created tank.
I'm so sorry.
His
prize pick
but by
shit
the way, a
is
little
so mad.
side note, why would Adam Silver not just let the bad teams get the top pick easier? Right? Like, if the Nets would have gotten Cooper Flag, you're done tanking. Instead, they get Igor Demon, no offense, and the tank just goes on and on and on for years and years. But tanking has never gotten so bad. If you look at the schedule today, there are 10 games on, and only 3 of them feature both squads trying to win. Well, that only gets worse if they add 2 more teams in expansion. So Adam Silver is pissed. Told the media, tanking has been worse this year than we've seen in recent memory. I'm considering every possible remedy. So
but I feel like they say this every year, bro. They say this every year, bro. Tanking's been around since before I was born, my nigga. Like, bro, it's if you keep trying to make all these fucking tweaks, you're only gonna just keep making it worse. I'll be honest. You might be asking, yo, Relly, how do you fix it? I don't fucking know. I don't think you can. It might be one of those things where it's too far gone because tanking is so bad in the NBA. It's now bleeding through into other sports. You're seeing baseball teams do it. You're seeing football teams do it. You're seeing, I don't know about soccer. I don't watch soccer, but you're seeing other sports get into this tanking regime. My nigga, that shit is crazy.
Through with Shams League.
It's unplayable. It's unfair to the fans that pay the money that pay these niggas bills, bro.
Sounds smart on the surface. Like, really, if I read the headline, you're probably going to nod your head like, yeah, that's going to work. Well, that's the problem. Adam Silver already tried that. He nodded his head too, and it blew up in his face. So as I read these potential rules, I want you to ask yourself this question. Does it actually stop tanking, or does it only sound like it does? Rule number 1, lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline. Now, one of the
if
main
you lose too much,
complaints is that teams are...
their cap should go down. That's an interesting take. I feel like there's got to be like seem like legalities, if that's the right word, if I use that in the right context, that wouldn't allow that to happen. But I don't think that's a terrible idea at all.
Tanking earlier than ever
Like
this
off,
year.
like just hearing that off the top of the dome. I think I've heard Bill Simmons on his podcast. He said something similar to that. Like you don't like if you are terrible, like you're one of the last teams, like you just don't get in. There's like a revenue bonus or some shit at the end of the year. I think it was like you don't get that bonus.
All this does would be to make the tank from day one. Then you'd have a bunch of teams with basically no chance playing meaningless games anyway at the end of the season.
For half
this
the
is
year.
a prime example of something that sounds good at first, but could only make things worse. Rule number 2, no top 4 picks in back-to-back years. Is this even a common thing? Okay, the only teams to pick top 4
Yeah, that's a terrible
back-to-back since the
observation.
lottery changed in 2019 are the Rockets and the Spurs. That's it. Also, like, remember when the Hawks got lucky to get the number 1 pick in 2024 for Zachary Shai? Then what?
Yeah.
They just have no chance to pick in the top 4 in a loaded 2025 draft? That's insane. That's like double bad luck. And by the way, this doesn't stop tanking. It just
That's
takes
facts.
a couple of teams out of the top
Zachary
4.
Shai
All
is-
the other teams still
Bum,
want
yeah.
in. Rule number 3, teams can't make top 4 picks right after making the conference finals. Okay,
This
is
is the
this
dumbest
even a
one.
problem? I mean, this is an actual rule that they're proposing. When has this happened? Well, recently 3 times. Golden State in 2020,
2020.
Dallas 2024, and probably the Pacers now in 2026. But in every case, they only picked in the top 4 because something tragic happened to the fan base. Either a huge injury or a tragic trade. So you're gonna punish the
Right.
fan base again, really? And rule number 4,
Doesn't make any sense.
lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records instead of just 1 year. Now, this makes some sense. In fact, the WNBA has been doing this since 2015. But of course, you already knew that because you're a WNBA superfan. And it's helped the worst teams. The same team has gone number 1 back-to-back 3 times. That is double number 1 picks. Now, of course, the W lottery only has 4 teams in it, which you already knew, obviously. But if we are
Nigga, I didn't know
trying
that
to
shit.
help
Stop talking
the
like I know.
bad teams, this is a great suggestion. But if we're trying to stop tanking, not so much.
That's a
Rule number
long-term
5,
plan,
all
yeah.
lottery teams have an equal chance at the
At
number 1 pick. And that is a 7.14%
Nah,
chance.
gang.
Once
Nah.
again, this sounds good, okay? Every non-playoff team has an equal chance at number
It's
1.
like A
But
sense.
this might be the worst suggestion of them all. Why? Well, first, it doesn't help the worst teams get better, which is the whole point of
The
having
whole
a
point of the
draft.
fucking
Like,
lottery
why have the
and the
Wizards,
draft,
for example,
yeah.
been terrible since 2022? Because they can't get a top pick. And they pick 10, 7, 2, 6. But more importantly, this doesn't end tanking, okay? It incentivizes teams to now tank out of the playoffs. Oh, by the way, everyone would be trying to lose the play in. So 5 rules that don't do anything. Some
That would
make
be
it
fucking
worse.
funny.
There's probably no way to fix tanking completely as long as the draft exists. Did they ever think the draft itself might be the problem? Yes, they actually have. If Silver and his advisors decided the only way to stop tanking was to stop the draft altogether and turn rookies into free agents, it would get serious consideration. What?
What? Yo, imagine. Oh, wait. Before he says anything, I gotta think about this, right? Because imagine this year. Let's just use this year because there's so many people coming in. You're telling me Peterson, AJ, and Boozer would all have an opportunity to get like max contracts as rookie? Like, are you willing to allocate that towards your cap? Now, if they're free agents, they have the free will to choose wherever they want to go. So if I'm Darren Peterson or if I'm AJ DeBonsta, do I take a pay cut to go home back to Boston? Like, you know what I mean? Like is that in the realm of possibility? I don't know. I think that sounds way too crazy. That sounds way too crazy. What if there was a lottery, right? What if there was a lottery? There's a lottery. There's like the regular odds and shit, but there's a general consent. So like, let's say teams draft players like based off their rankings. Let me make that make sense for you. Listen, don't lose me. So what if the top 5, like the worst 5 teams in the league, they all decide, okay, AJ DeMonsta, you're the number 1 pick. They bring up AJ. AJ's the number 1 pick, but he gets to choose out of the top 5 team or the worst 5 teams of where he wants to go. Did we ever think about that? Is that crazy? Is that a crazy take or like a crazy observation? I don't think so. But that would low-key give players way too much power on like team building and all this shit. Cause say Like Pacers are gonna be there. I'd go to the Pacers in a heartbeat. You're in the Eastern Conference, which is worse. You're gonna get a returning Halliburton and all these players. I don't know. That's it. But this is a terrible. He tried to twist this narrative in the worst way. Like Kansas and Duke isn't one of like the two top prevalent like college basketball programs in the fucking country. Like, are we really gonna do that right now? Are we really about to do that? BYU's the only outlier here. BYU's the only outlier in this scenario.
LA, New York, and Miami. But the crazy thing is one or two
you can't apply market into college.
Silver wants this by next year. So let's just hope whatever he does makes things better and not worse like last time. But the Lakers are a lot better recently.
Adam Silver, if you think that you're gonna fix tanking within 1 year, I need whatever you chiefing on over there, gang. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that ASAP, no Rocky, gang, because you're not gonna fix it in 1 year. It's not possible. This is genuinely not possible.